Hey y'all, welcome to part two of my top 8 movies of 2024. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. I'm sure some of those picks that I had on my list were controversial for people, or maybe you liked them too, I don't know. But this is my top 4 movies of 2024. I have 3 physical discs to show you, and then one I'm just gonna have to talk about because I can't find it at my God blessed Walmart store, because that's the only store that sells new physical media where I live, because Walmart is taking over, or has taken over the world, which was predicted decades ago. But How Walmart is Destroying America, a great little read if you can find a copy of that book. But it's too late now. It's too late now. Sam's Club rules our lives. And if they don't get the new releases in, I cannot buy them unless I shop online, which I don't like doing. But anyway, that leads me to my number 4 movie of 2024, which is Terrifier 3, directed by Damien Leone, who did Terrifier 1 and 2 and All Hallows Eve, I believe. Yeah, I can't find a physical copy of it in my store, which is a bummer. I did see it on DVD, but I'm holding out for the Blu-ray. So the synopsis for Terrifier 3 is Art the Clown is set to unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. This stars Lauren Lavera and David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. The budget for this movie was $2 million and the box office was $50 million and counting. This has a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. I saw this in the theater when it came out a couple months ago and adored it. I like the Terrifier movies. I know it's not for everyone. They're extremely gory, but I thought Terrifier 3 was great. Set at Christmas, the opening scene, I really can't wait to rewatch the opening scene again. It's totally like Christmas Eve vibes. The house is all in darkness, just the tree is lit up. You got Art the Clown dressed as Santa Claus with his back to this little girl coming down the stairs. And it's like, oh my God, this is a roller coaster ride. And some people are going to get hacked up, and it ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to be some fun. It's funny, I was thinking about this movie because a bunch of people were reviewing the 40th anniversary 4K of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I was reminiscing about how that movie got, such backlash when it came out. Terrifier 3, of course, Terrifier 3 did also get some backlash, but not like moms protesting outside the theater saying, don't corrupt our kids with this Santa Claus serial killer stuff. But it's just so funny how that was such drama, and now stuff like Terrifier 3 can come out at Christmas, and it's like nobody really says much. Definitely not on the mainstream news anyway. Apparently there's Terrifier 3 in pre-production, which I think Damien Leone has said is going to be the end of this series, which I think is also going to be like a backstory to Art the Clown. My thoughts on Terrifier 3, I thought this was just good, grisly fun. Like I said, the opening scene gives you those Xmas vibes. Kind of like the Tales from the Crypt movie from the 70s with I can't remember her name now, which is terrible because I love her. But there's a if you go back and look at the 70s film Tales from the Crypt, it's an anthology, but the first one is a Christmas anthology with a killer Santa, and it's awesome. And when Terrifier 3 came on the screen, that was my total vibe right there. It was like, oh, this puts me so much in mind of that. Just that kind of cozy living room setting with Christmas. I don't know. There's something about it. I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. She was like a soap opera star. You can leave it in the comments. But yeah, anyway, really like this movie. It's over the top, of course, gore. So if you don't like gore, do not watch this movie. This is Art the Clown at his most sadistic. The scene in the mall with the kids, and there's some stuff that happens at the mall, which is pretty intense. The ending is so gore-soaked. It's so gross and so upsetting. I mean, I don't want to give it away because it is still a fairly new movie, but just it was terrifying. Terrifier 3, go check it out. I don't know where the heck the Blu-rays are. I can't find them in my local store. And it seems online you can only order it and get it like in sometime in January, like late January. I thought this would be like a big movie. Joker 2 came out on Blu-ray last Tuesday, and my store doesn't have that one on the shelf either, which is kind of weird. I mean, I know it wasn't like a big movie, but you'd think the studios would want to have these movies out and available for Christmas. But anyway, I'm really sad to not be able to find that yet, but I know it's coming. I just got to be a bit more patient, but I really, really want to rewatch it. So Terrifier 3 is my number 4 movie of 2024. My number 3 movie might surprise you. My number 3 movie of 2024 is Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake as well as Don't Breathe. This was produced by Sir Ridley Scott. I saw this in the theater in August, and I really did not like this movie. I was very vocal about not liking this movie. I was like, oh my God. In fact, when I was in the theater, I've told a few people the story. When I was in the theater, at the end, I was just like this. Like I had my head in my hands. I was like, oh my God, what are they doing? Now, I did rewatch it on Blu-ray, and I sort of fell in love with it, which is really weird. I'm sure lots of movie fans have that experience where they don't like something at the first, and then they rewatch it, and they're like, oh, this is actually kind of awesome. So that was my experience with this movie. The synopsis for this movie is, while scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Guess what it is? Yeah, it's the alien. This movie stars Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, Archie Renault. Critics really praise the performance of Kaylee Spaney, and I do too, as well as David Johnson. The visual and the practical effects, cool, like I think mostly old school. There was definitely some CGI, but definitely some real old school, like the xenomorph and that. Not an overuse of nostalgia, but some of the digital stuff was really crappy. The Ian Holm thing, Uncanny Valley, what are you doing? Why does his mouth look that way? I did watch like a video about some like effects artists watching these scenes from the movie and talking about it. And one of the effects artists was saying like, oh, it's the way that Ian Holm's head is in the scene. It's kind of back. And so his mouth looks really weird. The animation looks really weird. But then when he's more like upright and face on, it doesn't look quite as weird. So I did rewatch it, and I did pick up on that a bit. So that was kind of cool to have somebody sort of point that out, because when I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, this is so... I mean, it's still kind of bad, but at least I kind of understand what's going on now. Yeah, again, I don't want to give too much away. This is streaming on Disney in Canada, I think. Yeah, Disney. This film is supposed to take place between Alien from 1979 and Aliens from 1986. Also, the xenomorph in this movie was supposed to be closer to the drawings and paintings by H.R. Giger, as opposed to like the makeup artist doing the actual costumes and stuff. So it's supposed to be more of a nod to the original art. I did go back and look at it, and I was like, yeah, I can see that now. Because when I first saw the movie, I thought the alien didn't look right, but it's because it doesn't look like the alien, the xenomorph in the other films, but it looks more like H.R. Giger's artwork, which was kind of cool because I do love H.R. Giger's artwork. Yeah, mostly practical effects, some CGI. There's a cool scene with some anti-gravity, which I won't give it away, but that scene grew on me upon second watching. But yeah, my number 3 film for 2024 is Alien Romulus. I do believe there's a sequel coming out, which I'm guessing will be Alien Remus, but I'm not entirely sure. A lot of people said this was like the Alien movie that Alien fans were waiting for, and now that I've watched it a couple of times, I can kind of see that. I thoroughly enjoyed it upon second. I know that sounds strange, but thoroughly enjoyed it upon rewatch. So, am I excited for another one? I'm getting kind of tired of remakes, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I would highly recommend Alien Romulus. If you like the Alien series, you'll probably like this. Suspend your disbelief. Again, uh, think about the alien as more like the paintings and less like the xenomorphs in the other films. Um, I also was a little put off by the younger cast because I thought, as I've mentioned on this channel before, are they trying to just like screamify the Alien series by putting teenagers in it? But upon rewatch, I was like, you know what? These actors are really good, especially Kaylee Spaney. I thought was great. Um, I thought she was just really good in this movie. And upon rewatch, I can see like her nod to, Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. So yeah, number 3, top films of 2024, Alien Romulus. Number two, can you guess what it is? It's Longlegs. This is a psychological horror movie directed by Oz Perkins, who did The Blackcoat's Daughter as well as Gretel and Hansel, which was a movie I saw and did not really like. The synopsis for Longlegs: in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. This stars Micah Monroe, who was also in The Guest, as well as It Follows, and Nicolas Cage. The budget for this film was $10 million, and it apparently made about $127 million at the box office. Not too bad of a return on investment. Cage also served as a producer on this film. This was the highest grossing independent film of 2024, apparently, according to the internet. Principal photography took place in Vancouver from January to February of 2023. This film has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. My thoughts on this film: another one I like. So Beetlejuice, Alien Romulus, and now Longlegs. 3 movies I saw in the theater that I did not like in the theater. I went to see this with my niece, and we both came out kind of from the theater shaking our heads like, what did we just watch? This had such hype as it came out. People were talking about this movie. So I was really excited to see this. It finally did come to my movie theater for a limited run. Went to see it. Was like, meh, it was okay. Rewatched it on Blu-ray. Absolutely loved it. So I'm having this, I guess this is my kind of year, 2024. Nicolas Cage is, of course, totally unhinged in this movie, as he is in a lot of his films. One of my favorites being Mandy from several years ago. But yeah, he's really creepy in this movie. He sings these weird songs and screams at the top of his lungs in weird voices, and it's very disturbing. There's obvious nods to Silence of the Lambs in here, with a little bit of a David Lynch tinge to it. Some of the scenes were very shocking, like point blank range murders. Other scenes had more of like a liminal kind of creepiness to them, like big weird rooms with weird lighting, like 70s, 80s kind of looking rooms, like, I don't know, shag carpet and like weird artwork on the wall and weird color palette. Very, very off-putting. And I think maybe that's why the first viewing I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this, because it was actually like kind of disturbing. But upon second watch and third watch, I've actually seen this 3 times now. Longlegs, my number 2 movie of 2024. I really like this movie. Again, I'm yearning so much for a original horror movie. Like, let's give focus on these original horror movies instead of these sequels. But I thought this was fresh, even though it has nods to Silence of the Lambs and stuff like that. I thought this movie was just really, really good, really creepy. That scene was pretty creepy. Yeah, just really weird vibes. So if you like that kind of like unsettling, like off-kilter tape kind of, just a weird movie. I love David Lynch, of course, and so it did, like, upon second watch, I was like, oh, maybe the director was kind of going for something like that, like a Twin Peaksy Mulholland Drive kind of weirdness. But yeah, Longlegs is my number 2 movie of 2024. Merry Christmas, everyone. Tomorrow is Christmas Day. I'm excited. I know I'm getting, I hope, at least 2 movies. Although my mom said there's no guarantees there's any movies under the tree, but We'll see. Pretty sure I saw a Blu-ray poking through the tissue paper, but we'll see. Now, guys, I only have a few minutes left of memory on my camera, so I have to go through this real quick. But my number one movie to this point, which you're going to be surprised, because it was critically and commercially lambasted, Joker 2, Joker Folie à Deux. Yeah. I love this movie. I'm not going to lie. I saw this on streaming last week when I was recovering from surgery. Maybe it was the anesthesia. I don't know. But I really enjoyed this movie. I actually hate musicals, for the record. But I thought this movie was so much fun. This is, of course, a psychological thriller from director Todd Phillips, who did the first Joker installment. He also did the movie version of Starsky and Hutch, which is not that good. But the synopsis for Joker Folie à Deux: struggling with his dual identity, failed comedian Arthur Fleck meets the love of his life, Harley Quinn, while incarcerated at Arkham State Hospital. This stars Joaquin Phoenix returning as Joker, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and one of my faves, Catherine Keener. The budget for this movie was between $190 to $200 million, and it made $206.4 million at the box office. Apparently, the Joker from 2019 was supposed to be a standalone film, and I think they could have left it at that, but it was so good, and I think Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix both felt that they could tell more story about the Joker, so this came out. This has a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. My thoughts on this film: I thought this was even darker than the first one, and the first Joker was very dark, but like I said, I do not like musical movies. The only musical I actually somewhat enjoy is Grease. But this one really worked for me. I can't explain it. Lady Gaga is very likable. I don't know Lady Gaga at all. I know the song Born This Way. That's the only thing I know about Lady Gaga, other than she has some crazy costumes that she wears. But she was just likable in this movie in a disturbing way. The cityscapes kind of gave me like Christopher Nolan Batman vibes, which I thought was really cool, like kind of a tie-in. I don't know if that was deliberate, but lots of like overhead shots of the city, which just kind of looked a bit like the Batman trilogy from Christopher Nolan. The shocks in this were shocking, as was in the first. And yeah, I was really surprised that this movie was so hated. I thought I felt like this was cinema for fans of cinema. This was like not for the superhero crowd, the Avengers crowd. This was more for I like Taxi Driver, and I sort of like comic books, and I want something that sits somewhere in the middle. And I thought it was really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I actually started to watch it a second time on streaming before I picked up the Blu-ray the other day. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it again. My number one movie so far of 2024 is Joker 2. I always forget the title. Folie à Deux. But now I have not seen Nosferatu, I have not seen The Substance, and I have not seen Dune 2. So my top 10 could legitimately change, but I'm probably not going to redo it. I may make a comment in upcoming videos after I've seen those movies, just to say like this one would like take top place and Joker would fall to number 2 or something. But based on what I've seen so far, that's my list. So movies I have not seen yet that I think I will like and will probably be in my top 10: The Substance, Nosferatu, and Dune 2. So a recap: my number 8 movie of 2024 was Maxine from Ty West. My number 7, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga from George Miller. Number 6, Salem's Lot from director Gary Dauberman. Number 5, Beetlejuice from Tim Burton. Number 4, Terrifier 3 from Damien Leone. Number 3, Alien Romulus. Number 2, Longlegs from Oz Perkins. And my number 1 film of 2024, Joker Folie à Deux. I know it's probably going to be upsetting for some of my viewers, but I do highly encourage you, if you love Joker from 2019, give Joker 2 a chance. It's actually really good. Great acting, great vibes, great movie. I loved it. So that's it for me for today. I hope everyone has a great Christmas. I will be back very soon with what I got for Christmas or whatever like that. Go back and check out my thrifting haul from the other day. Go back and check out my 8 through 5 movies from yesterday. And I hope you enjoyed my top 8 movies of 2024 countdown. I'm just new to doing these kind of like ranking videos, and I'm not totally into it, but I thought it would be something fun to do for Christmas. So anyway, have a great Christmas with your friends and family, or if you're on your own, have a peaceful time. Do the things you enjoy. Don't go crazy with spending money. And that's it for today. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.